Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be replacing the rear brake pads on my Audi Q3. Now these have started squeaking every time I step on the brakes. I assume then that my particular model does not have brake wear sensors installed, as I have no warning lights up on my dashboard. The focus will not be so much on the replacement of the brake pads as it will be on this gadget here. This obviously is the Autel MaxiAP AP200. It's a diagnostic tool which happens to have the EPB service function. Now your EPB obviously is your electronic parking brake. You will know that on these newer models, the electronic parking brake has got a motor right here at the back. This over here is your motor. When you engage your electronic parking brake, what this motor does, it drives the piston which is inside here, your brake caliper, to push against the brake pad, and the brake pad obviously then engages on the brake disc or the rotor. The challenge comes in when we actually want to service or replace the brake pads, in that when you disengage the electronic parking brake, the motor actually drives the piston out just far enough so that the brake pad disengages from the brake disc. Now that is not good enough for us when we want to actually replace the brake pads, because the older brake pads are thinner and the newer obviously brake pads are thicker. So when the electronic parking brake or the motor disengages, it disengages just ever so slightly, but that does not create a big enough gap for us to actually install the newer and thicker brake pads. So our focus will really be on this gadget to see how it works. It's upside down, to see how well it works, how well it does the job, and we'll probably just skip very quickly through the replacement of the brake pads, as there's a ton of videos online on how to get that done. So let's go ahead and plug this baby in and show you how to get this job done. And here we have the new brake pads as well as the associated fittings for them. Alrighty, getting the Autel device set up is simple and straightforward. You simply download the app from your app store, you register using your email address, and then you bind the device using the QR code located on the side of the device. You need to bind the device to the app, or you can also use the serial number found on the packaging. Next, you need to open your app, navigate down to the mall, and you can select any one vehicle make which you would like to have a lifetime access to in terms of getting free software updates. Obviously, I own an Audi. I've gone ahead and claimed the Audi, and if you open it up, you'll see that the expiry date is now infinity, meaning that it will not expire. More than this, it will ask you to install a secondary app which works with this one. For me, it asked me to install the Diag VW app. If you select a different make vehicle, it might ask you to download a different app for that function. Then you'll need to connect your device onto your OBD port like I've done there. You will see it will turn, or it will light up a solid green color. This is before you actually pair it to your app. To pair your device to the app, you simply open the app, and you will notice that on your top right hand corner of the screen there is a button called VCI. You'll also notice that there is a red X at the moment, meaning that the app is not connected to the device. Simply tap on the VCI button. It will then tell you the possible locations of your OBD port. We already know that now, so we tap on OK. It's going to start scanning, and it's going to show you the available Bluetooth devices that you can connect to. Obviously, I know the name of my device by now, and it is that one at the bottom. It will always start with the alphabets AP for your device as well. So you simply tap on it to get the pairing going. It should ask you if you really want to pair. Yes, you confirm by tapping on pair, and you can see now that it actually says that it is paired. Now what you need to do, okay, by tapping that I've unpaired it, so I'm just going to go ahead and repair it and click on pair, and after that I simply click on done. and you will notice there on top now where it says VCI that there is now a green tick instead of a red X, indicating that your device is paired to your app. Once paired with your app, you will notice that the color will turn a solid blue like it has here on my vehicle. Now, to get your vehicle into service mode, ready for the replacement of the brake pads, you must ensure that the ignition on your vehicle is on. Thereafter, you must release the electronic parking brake by pressing down on it and ensure that the LED light is off. Disengage the parking brake, open your mobile phone, navigate to the app, navigate to the home screen, go on to service, select the EPB, select your vehicle. Audi in my case is going to load up, select the parking brake option, and then select the replace brake pads operating guide option, which is the first one at the top. It's going to start communicating with your device, and then it's going to give you the warning that forcing this function to exit during its execution may cause failure to enable the parking brake system. Click OK on that. It asks you, do you want to enter the Audi A8 matching function? You select no. It gives you some conditions. Make sure the voltage is 12 volts or greater than 12 volts. Release the electronic parking brake, which we've done. The LED is off. Wait for this step to end before performing any other another step, otherwise the system may be damaged. So you click on OK on that, and then it says please release the parking brake. You click on OK, and then you will hear that was actually the motor going off. It was actually releasing the parking brake. So now your vehicle is in service mode. You can go ahead and replace your brake pads. It says you should turn off the ignition, replace the brake pads, and finish the installation. Then you'll turn on the ignition. Please click OK to proceed. Do not click OK now, because if you click OK now, maybe just so that you see what happens, it will actually re-engage the parking brake. So if I click on OK, you can hear it, it's re-engaging the parking brake. So you only click OK once you are done with the service, and then the tool will re-engage the parking brake using obviously the motor. So you only click that OK once you are completely done with changing both brake pads on both sides of your vehicle. And then you click OK once you are done, and it tells you the rear brake pad replacement is complete. Something I neglected to mention is safety. Please ensure that when you are going to be working on your wheels for an extended period of time, have a jack stand that the vehicle rests on. I've just got the actual jack. It's a bit loose, so the vehicle is actually sitting on the jack stand. This is just as a safety precaution in case for some strange reason this fails, which it's highly unlikely to. But please ensure to have a jack stand and have your vehicle resting on the jack stand. Ensure to have chokes on your wheels as well. I've got one on each of my front wheels to ensure that the car doesn't roll back, as it is on a bit of an incline. Yep, the pads definitely did need replacing. Look at that difference, new and old. They're almost gone. Yep, that's it. It's now just sliding as it should, obviously. So everything is back in place. Now what we need to do is get back to our app and re-engage the motor to push in the electronic parking brake. My Autel app shut down on my phone while I was busy replacing the brake pads, I guess because it was idling for some time. So to get back into it and finish off the work by taking the vehicle out of service mode and re-engaging the electronic parking brake, you just navigate to service again. You go over to EPB, click on Audi or whichever model that you are working on, click on parking brake, EPB function. That's what we'll use this time around, as it gives us a bit more options. The warnings again, click on OK. Enter Audi A8 matching mode, you click on no, you click on OK. Now we've got the parking brake open. What we want to do now is close it, so we'll click on close parking brake, click on start, and you can already hear the parking brake engaging and closing. What you want to do now, obviously it says it was successful, so you can go ahead and click on escape once again, and escape. You want to exit, yes, go back, and you are back to your home screen. The next thing is to switch your ignition on, step on your foot brake, and then engage the electronic parking brake. You will hear it obviously engaging, and the LED light will come on to indicate that the electronic parking brake is actually engaged. And that is all. You have successfully replaced your brake pads. Once again, thank you for tuning in onto this channel. We really appreciate your time. If you found any value in this video, please do give us a thumbs up. If you'd like to see similar content in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you do not miss out when we release new content. Feel free to share the video, and see you on the next one. So with that, we can confidently conclude that yes, the MaxiAP AP200 will help you service your rear brake pads. Once the electronic parking brake is closed off via the Autel app and it's also engaged, you will realize that the caliper is no longer sliding as it was before, because the parking brake is engaged and the brake pads are now engaged onto the rotor and holding the vehicle from sliding forward or backwards. I've taken a quick walk around the vehicle, ensured that all the tools are packed away and that nothing is obstructing the vehicle from safely taking off. I'm gonna go ahead and disengage the parking brake. Disengages correctly. So put the car into reverse. Seems to be moving smoothly. So I guess we can say this was a successful job. We've got no warning lights on the dashboard, and the vehicle is moving ahead smoothly, and brake stops very nicely. So all good. Catch you on the next one.